Hello, if you grew up anywhere near a television set in the 1970s, chances are Little House on the Prairie found its way into your living room and never quite left your heart. There was something about the Ingalls family, their little farmhouse near Walnut Grove, and the quiet lessons about hardship and hope that made this show more than just entertainment. It became a fixture of American childhood. So today, let's pull up a chair, pour some lemonade, and take a walk down memory lane with the cast of Little House on the Prairie, then and now, more than 50 years after the show first premiered in 1974. We begin with Karen Grassel, the woman who brought Caroline Ingalls to life. Born on February 25, 1942, in Berkeley, California, Grassel was 32 years old when the series began. She trained extensively in theater before landing the role of Ma, and she brought a quiet strength to the character that grounded the entire Ingalls family. Off-screen, Grassel has spoken candidly over the years about the pressures of working alongside Michael Landon, who both starred in and largely controlled the creative direction of the show. Today, Grassel is 84 years old. She has continued to work in theater and has written about her experiences on the show, including a memoir that gave fans a much more layered picture of what filming Little House was really like behind the scenes. Then there is Michael Landon, the heart and driving force of the entire series. Landon was born Eugene Maurice Orowitz on October 31, 1936, in Forest Hills, Queens, New York. He was already a major star from his years on Bonanza when he took on the role of Charles Ingalls, and he also served as the show's primary writer, director, and executive producer, shaping nearly every episode that aired. Landon was 38 when Little House premiered in 1974. Tragically, he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer that later spread to his liver, and he passed away on July 1, 1991, in Malibu, California, at the age of 54. His death shocked the entertainment world, as he had announced his diagnosis to the public only months earlier. Landon remains one of the most beloved and influential figures in television history, and his work on Little House continues to be remembered as some of the most heartfelt storytelling of its era. Melissa Gilbert played Laura Ingalls, the show's spirited young narrator, and in many ways became the emotional center of the series. Born on May 8, 1964 in Los Angeles, Gilbert was just 10 years old when filming began, and she grew up on screen for nearly a decade. Beyond acting, Gilbert later became president of the Screen Actors Guild, a role that surprised many who only knew her as television's most famous pigtailed farm girl. She also ran for Congress in Michigan in 2016, showing a side of her career far removed from Walnut Grove. Today, at 62, Gilbert continues to write, act occasionally, and speak openly about her decades in the industry, including the complicated realities of growing up as a child star. Melissa Sue Anderson took on the role of Mary Ingalls, Laura's older sister, whose journey through blindness became one of the show's most memorable storylines. Anderson was born on September 26, 1962, in Berkeley, California, and was 12 years old when the series began. Known for her more private nature compared to some of her castmates, Anderson largely stepped back from the spotlight after the show ended, though she has occasionally returned for interviews and cast reunions. She is now 63 and has spoken about choosing a quieter life outside the entertainment industry, focusing on family over fame. The Ingalls' youngest daughter, Carrie, was famously played by identical twins Lindsay and Sidney Greenbush, born on May 25, 1970, in Los Angeles to actor Billy Greenbush and Carol Greenbush. Casting twins for young children was a common industry practice at the time, allowing productions to work around strict child labor laws limiting how many hours a young performer could be on set. The twins were only 4 years old when the show began. Lindsay largely left acting behind as she grew older, while Sidney continued performing into her teenage years. Both are now 56, and though they've kept relatively low public profiles compared to some of their castmates, they occasionally reflect on their unusual childhood spent portraying a single character between the two of them. No discussion of the show would be complete without Catherine McGregor, born Dorlee Dean McGregor on January 12, 1925, in Glendale, California. She played Harriet Olson, the meddling, status-obsessed shopkeeper's wife, who became one of the most delightfully hateable characters in television history. McGregor was already 49 years old when the series began, bringing decades of stage experience from her earlier career as a New York theater actress under the name Scotty McGregor. She stayed with the show for nearly its entire run, but was unable to appear in the series finale because she was on a spiritual pilgrimage in India at the time of filming, having converted to Hinduism. McGregor passed away on November 13, 2018, at the Motion Picture and Television Country House and Hospital in Woodland Hills, California, at the age of 93. Richard Bull played Nels Olson, Harriet's long-suffering but good-natured husband who ran the general store in Walnut Grove. Bull was born on June 26, 1924, in Zion, Illinois, and was 50 years old when the show began, already a seasoned character actor with decades of television and film work behind him. His portrayal of Nels brought warmth and comic timing that balanced out Harriet's schemes. Bull passed away from pneumonia on February 3, 2014, at the Motion Picture and Television Country House and Hospital in Calabasas, California, at the age of 89. Alison Arngrim took on the role that fans love to hate, playing Nellie Olson, the spoiled and scheming daughter of Harriet and Nels. Born on January 18, 1962, in New York City, Arngrim was 12 years old when she joined the cast. She has since become one of the most outspoken and candid former cast members, discussing her experiences on the show, her advocacy work, and her memoir detailing both the joys and hardships of life as a child actor. Today, Arngrim is 64 and remains active on the convention circuit, where fans still love to boo her for Nellie's antics decades later. Jonathan Gilbert played Willie Olson, Nellie's mischievous younger brother, adding a dose of comic chaos to the Olson household. Gilbert was born on April 28, 1967, in Los Angeles, and was just 7 years old when the series began. After his acting career wound down, Gilbert moved into finance, working as a trader and later co-founding a financial technology company, a path few would have predicted for the actor who once played one of Walnut Grove's most notorious troublemakers. He is now 59 years old. Kevin Hagen brought steady warmth to the role of Doc Baker, the town physician who treated the Ingalls family and their neighbors through countless crises. Hagen was born on April 3, 1928, in Chicago, Illinois, to parents who worked as professional ballroom dancers. He was 46 years old when the show began, having already built a long career in Western television series. Hagen passed away from esophageal cancer on July 9, 2005, at his home in Grants Pass, Oregon, at the age of 77. Matthew Labortos joined the cast as Albert Quinn Ingalls, the orphan boy taken in by Charles and Caroline after the Greenbush twins aged out of playing young children. Born on December 8, 1966, in Los Angeles, Labortos was 10 years old when he joined the series in 1976. His character became a central figure in the show's later seasons, and Labortos has continued acting and writing in the years since. He is now 59 years old. Dabbs Greer portrayed Reverend Robert Alden, the town's moral compass and spiritual guide, throughout much of the series. Greer was born on April 2, 1917, in Fairview, Missouri, and was already 57 years old when the show began, bringing with him decades of experience in film and television dating back to the 1940s. His calm, grounded presence made Reverend Alden a beloved fixture of Walnut Grove. Greer passed away from kidney failure and heart disease on April 28, 2007, at the age of 90. Dean Butler joined the series later as Almanzo Wilder, the farmer who eventually married Laura Ingalls. Butler was born on May 20, 1956, in Prince George, British Columbia, and was raised in Piedmont, California. He was 24 years old when he joined the cast in 1979. Butler has remained closely connected to the Little House legacy over the years, producing documentaries and retrospectives about the series and staying active within the fan community. He is now 70 years old. Victor French played Isaiah Edwards, the Ingalls family's rough-around-the-edges but deeply loyal neighbor. Born on December 4, 1934, in Santa Barbara, California, French was 40 years old when the show began. He shared a close working relationship with Michael Landon both on this series and later on Highway to Heaven. Sadly, French passed away on June 15, 1989, at Sherman Oaks Community Hospital in Los Angeles, just months after being diagnosed with lung cancer. He was 54 years old. Merlin Olsen brought a gentle giant's presence to the role of Jonathan Garvey, joining the cast as a new neighbor in later seasons. Before acting, Olsen had already built a Hall of Fame career in the NFL as a defensive lineman for the Los Angeles Rams. Born on September 15, 1940, in Duarte, California, Olsen was 37 years old when he joined the show in 1977. After Little House, he continued acting and became a well-known sports broadcaster. Olsen passed away from mesothelioma on March 11, 2010, at the City of Hope National Medical Center in Duarte, California, at the age of 69. Kyle Richards, now widely known to a very different generation of television viewers, played young Alicia Sanderson Edwards, one of the children adopted by the Edwards family. Born on January 11, 19